My name is Pranav, and this is my presentation for this value line project. Um, the stock I've chosen for this value line project is Tesla. Tesla, uh, Tesla is in the automotive industry. It engages in the development and manufacturing of fully electric vehicles and also some batteries. All the recent vehicles, Model S, the Model X, the Model 3, have a range of 200 to 250 miles per charge. Um, it is the leading company in this section of the automotive industry, and the way things are going, it might just be the total leader in the automotive industry. It has over 30,000 employees. Its chairman and CEO is Mr. Elon Musk. He owns about 22% of the shares in this company. Uh, Elon Musk also owns other companies such as SpaceX, Neuralink, SolarCity, which Tesla acquired in November 2016. In the long run, Tesla share prices have been consistently increasing, but they've been quite volatile over the past year or so. Uh, that's mainly due to the production issues of their newest vehicle, which is the Model 3. A lot of the production had to be pushed back because their suppliers weren't really doing their job, and Tesla had to gut the suppliers and make some parts themselves. And that pushed back the production by a few months, which led to its share prices falling. So, in terms of performance, its current sales are the highest that they've ever been, and the current backlog of pre-orders and such, it only indicates the sales are only gonna get higher and higher, and they're gonna beat the current records as time goes on. Uh, in other news, they also have another vehicle being showcased on November 16th. It's called the Tesla Semi, and they want to get into the trucking industry. Not only that, they want a significant impact in the global trucking industry, um, and not just the trucking industry. They want to transform every single segment of the automotive industry. Uh, in terms of buying the shares, I think now would be a great time to invest for the future since their prices have dropped a lot recently because of the issues I earlier mentioned about the Model 3 production. But those issues have now been resolved, and Tesla are on track to meet their 2018 targets, which would be pretty good in terms of performance since their targets for next year are higher than ever before. And once they meet those targets, the share prices will eventually get back up to the prices they were a couple of months ago, maybe even higher. As for the calculations of the project, there weren't really a lot until part 3. I guess in part 2 you could talk about the income statement and the balance sheet and the percentages that you had to calculate, but I don't think those need to be explained. In part 3, there wasn't really much for me to personally calculate since most of the numbers from the earnings report, the Q3 earnings report of Tesla, and I just had to look for the numbers and put them in my project. Numbers I did have to calculate were sales per share, which is total sales divided by total shares outstanding, which was about 63.77. Another one I had to calculate was cash per share, which came out to be about 21.1 in Q3, which is total cash divided by total shares, and that was about 3.5 billion divided by 167,294. The operating margin was minus 6.33% because they were in the operating loss. That number I calculated by their operating loss divided by their net sales. And the last number I kind of had to calculate was their working capital, which is current assets minus current liabilities, and that came out to be about 599.8 million as of 30th September of this year. I think that's pretty much it for my project. Not much else to say. Thanks.